Second race still to come a little bit later on. It was a race that was led from start to finish by Barwell Motorsport, having inherited pole position after the penalty for the number 4 Mercedes, which had initially qualified at the front. It was a brilliant start to the race, though, for Sean Balfour. Held the lead into turn number 1 and never really looked back. Most of the action was happening some way behind him in the opening exchanges, including this clash on the opening lap between Kevin Say and Matt Topham, who was making his GT3 class debut. It damaged the back of the Enduro car. Matt Topham was able to hang on nicely to a front-running position. Then contact at Coram sent the number 3 Mercedes off along the grass. Mike Price rejoining after a spin at the back of the field. Another big moment there for the McLaren heading out onto the back straight. That allowed Darren Leung through into second place in the early stages, and the Century BMW was a factor all race long. Then into the pit window, where the pit exit in particular became very, very busy indeed, and a couple of close calls led to some penalties for front-running cars that really did jumble up the order. It was a relatively slow pit cycle in the end for Century Motorsports, so Dan Harper had work to do to try and claw his way back up the order, which he did beautifully, working his way past not 1 but 2 McLarens, including this brilliant move on the inside of Chris Froggatt to claim second place into Rich's corner. The BMW man was on fire. He's become known this season for making some really good moves. However, his GT4 teammates were not exactly working well together. Lewis Plato into the back of Carl Cavers at the Wilson hairpin, which briefly allowed Josh Rowledge back ahead in the DTO McLaren. There's something about Barwell Motorsport at Snetterton that just seems to click, and that continued again in the first race of the day, with the number 78 car coming home victorious.